All right, today we're going to be doing my favorite, or my top three, I should say, favorite heroes in each aspect. This is what I think is fun for each aspect. This is what I think is fun for each hero. So just a video to have a little bit of fun with it. I will also show some examples of decks that use certain cards. Maybe it's not the perfect deck, but it will at least show you some cards that you can use in those decks to kind of really highlight why I like it in that aspect. Hopefully that makes sense. It'll make sense once you see it. So now really quick before we get into this list, do me a huge favor. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications. All that stuff really helps out. And also join Patreon. Patreon just got a Reddit reply. I don't know if you know that, but they did. And then I know it's on the paid tier right now, and a lot of people are going to be upset with that. So heads up. If you go down and scroll down to where my e-newsletter link is this Monday, that e-newsletter will have a free version of that Reddit reply. It's the same video, just free. So you can see it there. And I think moving forward, we're going to be doing Reddit replies behind the Patreon paywall. But if you're subscribed to my newsletter, you'll probably be able to see most, if not all of them for free that way, if you so choose. Everyone that's supported me on Patreon, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. If you sign up for the newsletter, I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. All right, let's go check out some cards. First one we're going to start with is Aggression. And my third favorite is Wasp. I'm a really big fan of Wasp as a hero in general. I really like her. And the reason I like her a lot in Aggression, she has cards like Pinpoint Strike. It's a 3-cost hero card event. Deals 7 damage to enemy. If you're in tiny form, this attack deals 1 additional damage and you gain Overkill. Overkill is really fun because you can have cards like uh, Moment of Triumph, which is an aggression card. It's a 0-cost event. After you attack and defeat an enemy, heal 1 damage from your hero for each point of excess damage dealt to that enemy by that attack. And if you use a card like Follow Through, when your hero deals any addition or excess damage, increase that amount by 1. So this is a way, especially when you're playing Expert, that will allow you to heal up your hero on your hero side. It's really, really important, in my opinion, to be able to do that. It's hard to do, but it's definitely worth doing. Generally speaking, I think cards like Chase Them Down is also really good. After your hero attacks, defeats the enemy, remove 2 threat from the scheme. That's going to help you out a lot. And then Surprise Attack is a 1-cost aggression event. Um, After you change form, so this could be from Big Wasp to Little Wasp, deal 3 damage to enemy, 4 damage if you used a Fist resource instead. So cards like that is what I enjoy using with Wasp to kind of just make it a fun aggression build. Next up, we have the Goat at number 2. Now, she probably could have been number 1, but number 1, I really like an aggression. So we'll get to that in a second. But the Goat is really, really strong because you should be putting Death Glow on everything. And with Death Glow, you should have Dragon Fang. Dragon Fang is her 1-cost upgrade weapon, and it allows you to have 2 extra attack with Death Glow attached. So she normally swings for 2. Now we're at 4. Add a combat training as an upgrade aggression, so now you're swinging for 5. And then you can have Mean Swing. Mean Swing is a 0-cost aggression event. When your hero makes a basic attack, exhaust a weapon upgrade on your hero gets +3 for that attack. Dragon Fang is a weapon that you never have to exhaust for anything else. So now you're swinging for 8 every single time. Add that with Yarnborn, and you're swinging for an additional 2, or after the fact, you're dealing an additional 2 if you spend a Fist resource, which you should have a ton for Valkyrie. And then you also have Skilled Strike. When your hero makes a basic attack, it gets +2 for that attack. Skilled Strike is a 0-cost event. So be able to like combo all that together, you're swinging for 12 total possible, which is absolutely strong and devastating to just swing for them out. It's even better than have Athy, right? Like it's just a bonkers way of playing Valkyrie. She can get so much damage from aggression. All right, my favorite aggression hero is Phoenix. I love Phoenix, and in aggression, she makes a lot of sense. I'm showing off Daring Lime's deck here. Um, one of the things that she does really well is, well, have Cybo attack, which is psionic. It's a 2-cost aggression event. Deal 4 damage to enemy. This attack gains range. It's nice not to get retaliated. And Psychic Assault. Again, you have to be psionic, 2-cost event. Deal 3 damage to enemy. Confuse the enemy so you can flip down, which is really nice. But what makes her so great, just generally, is that you can lean into those cards. You can lean into your allies that are aggression, like Psylocke, like Sunfire, like Wolverine. These are all very strong allies to have, because Phoenix is going to go out there and do crazy amounts of damage once she's unleashed. That's what you're going for with Phoenix. Get her to unleash side, but these aggression psionic cards, or psionic trait cards, I absolutely love with Cybo attack and Psychic Assault for Phoenix. She's amazing. She's amazing in aggression. Don't play her in Justice because she already could thwart for 3 off the rip. And then when your counters get down, again, you're using it as a timer, not as a constant resource. You can do crazy amounts of damage. Um, she's she is really phenomenal in aggression. All right, now we're moving on to Justice, and X23 is my number three here. X23 works in any aspect, any and every aspect. But I like her in this one. And Man is Obsolete. This is his deck for X23 because X23's damage output is crazy. Now, she could thwart for a lot as well, but the damage output is absolutely nuts. And what I do like about this deck is that you have cards like Making an Entrance. When your hero makes a basic thwart, it gets +2 for that thwart. After it ends, if you remove all threat from a scheme, heal 2 damage. You want to be able to hero with heal with X23 because you're going to deal a lot of damage with her because of her whole claw situation that she's got going on where you have to take damage. One way or the other is going to get you those side schemes out there so you could draw more cards, so you could do more damage. Like, there's so much you could do. And then basic attacks, you're going to be doing a lot of them. You can confuse the enemy. If they're already confused, then you can stun them. This kind of combination with Justice cards really just takes X23 to another level because she's going to do a crazy amount of damage. But get Justice to just do its thing and really make her deck just that much stronger. All right, so for my number 2 hero in Justice, we're going with Hulk, and this is an L3W deck. Honestly, as long as you're running a lot of strength resources in any aspect, he works pretty well, but Justice especially because you're going to want to remove threat somehow. So he changed some of the stuff around. You can see on the side with speed and sonic rifle and whatnot, and those are all good. But just be able to use, again, clear the area, concussive blow to confuse enemies so you can flip down. Like, this stuff is really going to help you out. Any thwarting cards with Hulk is going to help you. You can also do a shield deck, but I feel like we've talked about shield decks so much on other videos that hopefully you know what that is by now. But if not, just look up Hulk shield deck and you'll find one of them. But any situation will work. Beat Cop is really strong to just get all of them out there and constantly remove one threat each round. And then it helps with the minions too, because Hulk can struggle against minions. But Hulk, he works in leadership as well. Aggression for multiplayer, yes. But Justice just makes a lot of sense for True Solo. All right, and number 1 for Justice is the Turbo Witch build. Now, there's a bunch of different Turbo Witches, and this is just one I picked out. This is also from L3W. The big thing is one way or another, it's going to help you out a ton. It's a zero cost event. Search the encounter deck for a side scheme, reveal that side scheme, draw 3 cards. Monstrously huge. Then you could clear the area on that card so that it's a 1 cost event. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If it removes the last one, you get to draw a card. And then Skilled Investigator, after a side scheme is defeated, draw 1 card. You want to get as many cards as you can because you want to be doing Hex Bolts all day, every day to draw even more cards, to do Chaos, or Molecular Decay, sorry. There's so many things you could do, but you want to get those Hex Bolts in there to either deal damage or remove threat or whatever it may be. Really, really strong. I love Turbo Witch in general. She's really strong. I've maybe I've overplayed her a little bit, but she's really, really strong and good. But any form of Scarlet Witch is good, but this build in particular is a very strong build. Moving on to leadership, and number 3 is Captain America. Now, this is more of a theme thing for me. I really like the theme of him being the leader. I think it makes the most sense. We're showing off a deck from R Stork. And you can do a lot of different things with Captain America. He has Go All Out, or exhaust your hero, deal damage equal to your hero's total values. He's got 6, which is really good. Like, just generally speaking. He uses cards like Push Ahead, Exhaust Your Hero, Remove Threat, equal to those values. Again, very, very good. R&D Facility allows you to remove 1 research counter from it and then choose a friendly character like your character and get +1/+1 at the end of or till the end of the phase. Again, that's going to push up that go all out and push ahead. But just being able to get these allies out there, I just think it's not even that Cap needs to be leadership. He's good in every aspect, but this just thematically feels really good and why I just enjoy playing him in this aspect. And number 2, I have Star-Lord, and it's mainly because Star-Lord can do some crazy things. So each ally you control gains a Guardian trait. And what people have figured out, like Drew, is that you can use all Avenger cards basically, and then they also gain the Guardian trait. So this lets you do things like Avengers Assemble. Ready each Avengers character you control, which is all the allies you control. Until the end of the phase, each Avenger character in play gets +1 attack, +1 thwart, which is nuts because you could team that up with Blaze of Glory, where each Guardian character, which is all of them now, gets +2 thwart, +2 attack this phase. At the end of the phase, deal 1 damage to each Guardian character, right? Like, there's crazy combinations you could do because of that. He also has cards like Nowhere, which you'll need because everyone's going to be Guardians. So After the player plays a guardian ally, which is everyone, exhaust nowhere, gets to draw a card, right? Really good combo. But because Star-Lord can make all the allies guardian, and if you have all the allies be a different trait like Avengers, there's crazy combinations you could do because of it. He's such a good leadership deck that you could play him other ways, but I really don't want to because he's just so good this way. All right, my number one is Spider Ham. Spider Ham works in other things, but man, I just want it to be in leadership because of clarity and purpose. Clarity Purpose is a 1-cost upgrade attached to a friendly character, like Spider-Ham. Exhaust this card, deal 1 damage to that character, generate a wild resource. Why do we want to deal damage? Because after he takes any amount of damage, you place 1 tune counter on him. That tune counter is going to be a resource that you can use in the future, that you can use to pay for all your other cards. I like to put a ton of different allies. I lean into the Web Warrior trait with Spider-Ham. So we could do, again, cards like Leave from the front with Spider-Ham, go nuts with all of his stuff. There's a ton of different combinations you can really do with him, but really it comes down to clarity and purpose. It's just an incredibly strong card for Spider Ham, and I play him other ways, but it feels so good to just play him in leadership. All right, now moving on to protection, which is one of my least favorite aspects. So I'm going to have Iron Man here because Iron Man is going to need as many tech upgrades to increase his hand size as you can get. And there's just a lot of good options in the protection aspect. So you have electrostatic armor, which is an upgrade, 1-cost upgrade, tech. After you defend against attack, deal 1 damage to the attacker character. Is really good. Then you have energy barrier, where you have when you take any amount of damage, remove 1 reflection counter from here, prevent 1 of that damage and deal 1 damage back against tech and force field generator. You can only have 1 on, but again, being able to get that to get your tech upgrade up there is going to help you prevent damage. So that will be good as well. And then repurpose. I'm not a big repurpose guy, but it is very strong with Iron Man, so I have to acknowledge that. But decks like this can be incredibly strong. It's just it takes a little time to build out with Iron Man for this, but so anyway, for protection, number 3, Iron Man. All right, number 2 and number 1 are very close to each other. I enjoy both these decks a lot, and Drunken Master by Drew is actually one of my favorite decks of all time. I love running allies, and this deck doesn't run any allies because it's that good. It doesn't really need to. So Shadowcat has her whole thing with her solid and phased form. So when she's defending on her phased form, she can't take any damage. So you want to lean into that, right? So you have defense cards like Defiance. When a boost card be turned face up, discard instead. It's a defense event, so now that triggers your phased form. Powerful Punch is attack and defense, so you can switch it with that. Preemptive Strike, again, allows you to cancel boost cards, but it's also a defense card. Sidestep, again, cancel the boost cards or prevent damage that you would take as a defense card, but also allows you to deal damage back to an enemy. It's a really strong way to play Shadowcat. You can play her in aggression as well, and it's totally fun. But this is one of, in my opinion, the better decks out there. It really takes Shadowcat to the next level. You have to learn her timing sequence because it can be a little hard to do. But it is a really fun way to play this hero and just really just play differently. Right, I feel like we play ally heavy decks so often. To play a hero with no additional allies is pretty cool. All right, and number 1 for protection is Ghost Spider. Again, you could have switched this with Shadowcat. I like both of them a lot. We're using Tony Tails' deck, where Ghost Spider herself, basically after she resolves an interrupt or response ability on an event, ready Ghost Spider. So we want to do that a lot, right? Defiance is an easy one, 0-cost event. Interrupt when a boost card on an enemy attacking you would be turned face up, you discard instead. So now you can ready up Ghost Spider. Expert Defense gives you additional defense if you're expecting a big hit. Plus now you can ready up on top of it. What doesn't kill me just helps you heal up a little bit, which is really nice. And then you can add extra cards like Flow Like Water, which is going to allow you to deal damage each time. Electrostatic Armor, which is going to deal damage when you defend. Hard to Ignore, when you take no damage. Remove threat from the main scheme, right? Unflappable. You get to draw a card when you took no damage, right? There's so many things you can do with her on protection. And there's a lot of different interrupts and responses that you could do for events that are really strong. Same with aggression. She doesn't really work well in other aspects, but protection is really, really strong. Aggression works not as well, but pretty well also. I guess we should do pool. I guess we'll do the pool aspect. Now, look, I don't play the pool aspect that much, so take all this with a giant grain of salt, what I'm about to say. Generally, I want the pool aspect for, like, the resources. and that's it. Maybe cut upper and maybe the mulligan card. That's about it. Like I don't really like the pull aspect, but what I've learned is the pull aspect can work well for certain things, and I like it for example here with Iceman because Iceman's really expensive, and this is chilling by the pool. Web Warrior Fanatics deck, so you have cards like Self Confidence, where you get triple resources. If you sustain no damage, self confidence, preservation. Jeez, I can't talk. So you have all three of those triple resources to help pay for his very expensive kit, right? That's one of the big knocks on Iceman is that he's expensive. You could really take out Iceman and put anybody else here. And just like if they have an expensive kit, like I think it works. So I'm not a big fan of Iceman or the pool aspect, but I do think they work somewhat all right here. Now you could do the upgrade size games as well, or the upgrades with stick to itiveness and tic tac toe. Those are fine and whatnot. Stick to itiveness is actually probably good because you can spend a fist resource and exhaust this card already. You're a hero. But yeah, if you do tic tac toe or whatever, that's the whole side game you can play if you really want to. All right, and then we have number 2. I'm putting Thor here. This is Fluff Daddy's deck. Odin Spool. This just shows the example again. I like the triple resources for Odin, or for Thor, I should say, because um, some of his cards can be a bit expensive that you're getting out there, which will help him. Plus, he has the lower hand size. So if you're trying to play cards like Nick Fury or X going to give it to you or whatever, this is going to help you pay for those cards. Cut Upper is really strong because again, you're stunning an enemy, so it helps you survive a little bit longer. And a mulligan card, right? To discard your hand and draw a new hand. Sometimes with Thor, you just get a really bad hand. So it's really nice to be able to just play this again to get an entirely new hand, or play this card, I should say, to get an entirely new hand. And so Thor, again, I like it in a lot of aspects. I tried this strategy a couple times, and I think it works pretty well with Thor in the pool aspect. All right, the last one I'm showing is my favorite, which is Wolverine. Now, I would put the triple resources in here. They didn't do that for this deck, but I wanted to show off another person with Mr. Rogers' deck. This is Frenzied Healing Factor, because Healing Factor. Healing Factor is after a player phase begins, exhaust Healing Factor, heal 2 damage to your identity. If you have Wolverine or X23, where you're going to be purposely taking a lot of damage, Healing Factor is going to help you out a ton. I really liked Healing Factor with Wolverine because, you naturally heal 2, and then you heal the other 2 on top of it, and you're going to be taking probably 2 to 3 damage or more each round through your events. So that stuff really, really helps out. Using Cut Upper, again, to stun the enemy so that you don't take damage for a round can be really strong and good. The other cards I don't really care about as much, but I would throw the triples in here as well. But I think one of the big leg ups that pool aspect has in other aspects is the Healing Factor card. If you have a hero that's dealing damage to itself, this can be extremely strong and helpful. Oh, I hate talking about pool. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts. What are some of your favorite heroes in each aspect? Like I said, this is just my opinion. This is just what I enjoy, but I'm sure your list looks entirely different. I'm really curious about that. So let me know your favorite hero in each aspect. And if you don't want to put in the comments, join the Discord. The link is down below. We'd love to see you there to talk a bit about this. And I will see you all next time.